golfers are swinging out of their shoes to try to find more distance, when quite honestly, the easiest way to do it is to just hit a nice high draw. Today I'm gonna give you my 3-step process to hitting the high draw and getting you more distance. So the first thing we gotta talk about is the setup, then we're gonna talk a little bit about club face, and then we're gonna talk about length of backswing. So in the setup, to hit a nice high draw, we've gotta make some little bit of adjustments because the driver is the only club that every time we swing it, the ball's on a tee. And because it's on a tee, we're gonna make some adjustments. So the first thing you're gonna do in the setup to hit the nice high draw is you're gonna make sure that your toes are ever so slightly close to the target line. So this alignment rod references my target line. So I'm gonna make sure that my toes, my hips, and my shoulders are ever so slightly closed relative to that target line. Now we're not talking nothing crazy. We're talking basically like the right side of the fairway. And what that'll do is that will help us promote an inside to out golf movement, a golf swing, which is key to hitting the nice high draw. So step number 1 in the setup is a slightly closed stance. The next thing we want to do is make sure that the ball is slightly forward, because if we hit up on the golf ball, which we should do with a driver, right? That will help us get more distance. So make sure that the ball is off the inside of your lead arm. So what I like to do with my students is just go ahead and put my feet together, put the ball in the center, okay? Go ahead and place the club face behind the golf ball, take a mini step towards the target, okay? We're talking a couple inches, but also notice as I'm doing that it's slightly closed, right? See how I'm doing that? So it's slightly closed, and then find a nice big step away. This will get my stance slightly closed, and we'll get the ball so it's upwards off the inside of my lead arm. Now the other thing that you gotta be aware of, okay, and this is one of the reasons why in the MaxVert 2 we put this white line on the top, is make sure that the club face is nice and square. But in the setup, make sure that your club face stays square. A lot of traditional drivers will rotate open. So in the setup, we've got a slightly closed stance, feet, hips, shoulders. We've got the ball slightly forward off the inside of the lead arm, and we've got a nice square club face. The second thing that we need to do in order to hit that nice high draw is we've got to deliver a square club face, okay, at impact. And because drivers are longer, okay, in length, and because they have less loft on them, all right, that can be very difficult for a lot of golfers. So I got a drill I'm going to share with you to show you that. And quite honestly, it's why we made the MaxVert. When we designed it with Josh, I said, make it a little bit shorter so people can release it and get more loft on it so they can get it up in the air. See how you got some knuckles? All right, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 knuckles on the top of my hand right here, right? So when you start your downswing, you want to feel like those knuckles start to rotate down towards the ground a little bit. Everybody can see that? So here's my knuckles, 1, 2, 3, 4. As I start my transition, my knuckles start to rotate towards the ground, right? Now, if I do that with the club, you can watch the club face here. As my knuckles start to rotate down, what does the club face do? The club face rotates down. Now, you can of course overdo it like anything in golf. If I really rotated them down, now the club face would be shut and I'd be hitting low duck hooks. We're not promoting that. But if you want to hit the high draw, we've got to deliver a nice square club face. Now, a lot of drivers also will have a different adjustments that you can make. You can twist and turn them. On the MaxVert 2, as an example, we have what we call the perimeter payload. Okay, some other traditional drivers have different things, but we have perimeter payload. That weight is more inside and back, so that allows the face to square and kick the ball up. So, you know, if you got the MaxVert, great. If not, check out your driver. You might be able to make some adjustments there. We've got the setup, we've got the square club face, all right? But the third thing that we need is we need some length to the backswing. All right, especially as we get older and more experienced. It's one of the reasons we wrote the book, The Bad Lie, and developed the vertical line swing, because length of swing is directly correlated to how far the ball goes, assuming we hit the center of the face, right? If I make a backswing and I only take it back to here, okay, I can't hit the golf ball very far. But if I take the club all the way up to here, I can have more time and energy to get some club head speed. So how do you do that? Well, I want you to focus on your trail leg. So notice on my trail leg as I'm set in there, let's say for sake of discussion, I've got 30 degrees of bend. Nick, does that look like 30 degrees of bend to you? Okay, good, thank you. And Nick gave us a thumbs up. Make sure you're giving us a thumbs up. And hey, tell us where you're from. We love hearing where you're from. Put that in the comments there. When you get to the top, I want you to have less bend. Let's say 15 degrees. So see here, 30, 15. Start at 30, go to 15. When you go to 15, that allows you to turn your hips, which is going to allow you to turn your shoulders more, which is going to allow you to get some length to that backswing. All right, so here we go. I'm going to tie some of this together, all right, before we kind of wrap it up. I'm going to have a slightly closed stance. I got the ball forward. My club face is squared up right there, okay. I've got the perimeter payload, or you've made the adjustments to your traditional driver, and I'm going to let that trail leg release. Let's see if I can get some length to this swing. Okay, I'll take that all day long. Man, this thing's hot. High launch, nice draw. No reason to swing out of your shoes. Now that we've got you hit nice high draws, check out my next video. And if you want to personally work with us on your golf game, check out VLScoaching.com.